If everything looks fine, but you feel empty inside, everything feels like it's falling apart, there comes a season in life when nothing feels stable anymore. You wake up with a strange weight in your chest, not exactly sadness, not exactly fear, just a quiet pressure that something is no longer right. The life you were living doesn't excite you the way it once did. The goals you chased with energy now feel distant or meaningless. Even the people and places that once felt like home start to feel unfamiliar. This stage is confusing because on the surface, everything might look fine. Nothing dramatic has happened. There is no clear reason to feel lost, and yet, inside you, something is shifting. This is often the moment people start questioning themselves, thinking they are ungrateful, lazy, or broken. But the truth is very different. Before life elevates you, it unsettles you. Growth does not enter gently. It arrives by disturbing your comfort zone. It breaks routines. It challenges identities. It forces you to confront parts of yourself you've ignored. When the version of you that once survived is no longer enough to support the person you are becoming, discomfort appears. That discomfort is not failure. It is information. At this stage, you may notice that your mind feels restless. You think more deeply. You question more often. You start asking questions that don't have immediate answers. Why am I here? What am I really doing with my time? Is this the life I want to wake up to 5 years from now? These questions can feel overwhelming, but they are a sign that you are waking up. You are no longer satisfied with just existing. You want purpose, meaning, direction, and when your inner standards rise faster than your external reality, frustration is created. You may feel disconnected from people around you. Conversations feel repetitive. The same jokes, the same gossip, the same surface-level talk it no longer feeds you. You don't feel superior, you just feel different. And that difference can feel lonely. This loneliness is misunderstood. It is not rejection, it is realignment. Your energy is shifting toward depth, growth, and truth, and not everyone can meet you there. During this phase, motivation often drops, not because you are lazy, but because your old reasons for trying no longer inspire you. You can't force yourself to care about things that no longer align with who you are becoming. Your mind resists living a life that feels dishonest. You might notice plans falling apart, delays show up, progress feels slow. You compare yourself to others and wonder why everyone else seems to be moving forward while you feel stuck. But what you cannot see yet is that life is clearing space. Think of this stage like demolition before construction. The noise, the dust, the chaos, it all looks destructive, but it is necessary. The old structure cannot support the new vision. So it must come down. This is the phase where many people give up. They run back to what is familiar. They distract themselves with noise, validation, and comfort. They ignore the inner call because answering it requires courage. But if you are here, listening to this, it means you didn't run. You noticed the discomfort. You questioned it. You stayed present. That alone puts you on a different path. This stage teaches you resilience. It forces you to sit with uncertainty. It pushes you to develop patience and self-awareness. You learn that clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from moving through confusion. You are not falling behind. You are being redirected. Everything that feels like it is falling apart is actually falling into place, just in a way you don't recognize yet. This is not the end of your story. It is the uncomfortable beginning of your real life. You start choosing yourself. The second sign that you are about to enter the best stage of your life is deeply personal. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't come with applause. It begins quietly, with a decision you may not even realize you are making. You start choosing yourself. For a long time, you may have lived on approval. You shaped your choices around what others expected. You said yes to avoid conflict. You stayed quiet to keep the peace. You put your needs last because you believed that was what good, kind, or responsible people do. But something changes. You begin to feel tired, not physically, but emotionally, tired of explaining yourself, tired of being available to everyone, tired of shrinking your truth so others feel comfortable. And one day, something inside you says, I can't keep doing this. This is not rebellion. This is self-respect waking up. At first, choosing yourself feels uncomfortable. You second guess your decisions. You worry about disappointing people. You feel guilty for setting boundaries. But alongside the guilt, there is relief, a deep exhale. For the first time, you are listening to your inner voice instead of silencing it. You begin protecting your time. You stop overgiving. You stop forcing connections that drain you. You realize that access to you is earned, not automatic. Some people won't understand this change. They may say you've changed. They may accuse you of becoming distant or selfish. And that can hurt, especially when you genuinely care. But growth often requires disappointment, especially of those who benefited from your silence. This stage teaches you that you can love people without abandoning yourself. You can be kind without being available to everyone. You can care deeply while still honoring your limits. As you choose yourself, your priorities shift. Peace becomes more valuable than approval. Alignment becomes more important than attention. You start making decisions based on long-term growth instead of short-term comfort. You begin asking better questions. Does this align with who I am becoming? Does this support my future or keep me stuck in my past? Does this cost me my peace? Your confidence grows quietly during this phase. Not loud confidence, not arrogance, but grounded confidence. You trust yourself more. You respect your intuition. You no longer feel the need to prove everything. This is also the stage where solitude becomes meaningful. You start enjoying your own company. You use alone time to reflect, learn, and reset. You realize that being alone is far better than being surrounded by people who don't see you. Choosing yourself reshapes your identity. You begin living with intention instead of reaction. You stop chasing validation and start building value. And slowly life responds. Opportunities appear, not always immediately, but steadily. Your mindset sharpens. Your direction becomes clearer. You attract people and situations that align with your new standards. This stage builds the foundation for the life you want, because a meaningful life cannot be built on self-betrayal. It can only be built on self-respect. Your mindset shifts before your life. Does the final sign that you are entering the best stage of your life is internal and invisible to most people. Your mindset changes before your circumstances do. You begin seeing challenges differently. What once felt like punishment now feels like training. You stop asking why bad things happen to you and start asking what they are teaching you. This shift alone changes everything. You become more patient, not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because you understand that real growth takes time. You stop expecting instant results. You focus on consistency instead of speed. Your reactions change. Situations that once triggered anxiety or anger no longer control you the same way. You pause, you reflect, you respond instead of reacting. This emotional maturity is a powerful sign of growth. You also become more disciplined. Even when motivation fades, you continue showing up. Even when results are slow, you stay committed. You understand that success is built quietly through daily choices no one applauds. This stage tests your faith, not faith in luck, but faith in yourself. Faith that your effort matters. Faith that progress exists even when it's invisible. You begin trusting your journey. You stop comparing timelines. You realize that everyone's path is different, and yours is unfolding exactly as it needs to. Nothing dramatic happens overnight. There is no sudden transformation, but internally you are no longer the same person. Your awareness is deeper, your standards are higher, your vision is clearer, and eventually your outer world must reflect this inner shift. Because life always aligns with the level of consciousness you operate from. The best stage of your life does not begin when everything is perfect. It begins when you are prepared, when you think differently. When you choose yourself, when you grow quietly. If you are in this phase, don't rush it, don't doubt it. This is not confusion, this is becoming, and this chapter, this uncomfortable, quiet, powerful chapter, is the doorway to the best stage of your life.